here it is, one of the best heats you'll see on paper. Gabriel Medina going up against Kelly Slater. These two have plenty of history. Medina, he is so lethal, so well-rounded. Kelly Slater, well, he's the GOAT, the greatest of all time. And we don't know if we're going to be seeing him compete here on the Gold Coast again after this year.
In a lot of those read breaks, and he has by far exceeded everything.
Wow, that was an interesting situation there. Kelly Slater deep in the barrel, but there was definitely a chandelier section that was tumbled there.
So really deep. Look at, he's behind the back door, and there's that chandelier snowball. It would have been really tough for him to make that wave. But if it was open, you know, I'm sure he would have at least seen some of that white water. Whether he was on a surfboard at that time, we will never know because he was behind it. That angle there looks even a little bit more like there was an effect by that white water.
Well, we're not seeing anything pop up on the screen at the moment. Slater's out the back with priority, having a look at this one. But he opts to kick out. So there's been a bit of this. The lineup has been a little disjointed, and Medina is very crafty at sneaking into these insiders. Doesn't get a major turn done on the outside and elects to kick out.
I haven't had a two yet. But yeah, like, just I knew that I had to catch a wave, and Connor got one right behind it, so yeah, lucky I stayed on that last one.
You sure did. Now, into the semifinals, I'm starting to feel like there's some type of fate happening right here, you know, on the comeback. And is this your expectations, or is this beyond your expectations? I know you still got a way to go, but let's just talk about where you are right now into the semifinals.
Oh man, right now I couldn't be any happier.
Gabriel Medina, pretty much the best wave of the heat. Again, reading that this wave is going to build down the line. We've seen this from Gabriel Medina in the past, and using it to success. Again, there it is. This is where he was able to find a nice clean section. His backhand style, so smooth, so much rhythm. He knows how to get into that pocket and whip that board with such grace. You know, and that backhand, it's appealing to watch. And so you do need muscle in order to turn him the way he does.
The Cabianca's looking good under Medina's feet, as always. But Kelly has found his magic board for the Gold Coast this year, and he's up on it now. And this thing's going to rifle off on the inside. He's got some speed to use here. Nice transition snap. Just stomps on that tail, finds a bit of cover on the inside, and racing towards this end section now and just really drawing out that carve. And he'll kick out with just over 16 minutes to go. Made the semi-finals, and that put Kelly out of contention, but Kelly actually did what he had to do in that event, and that was get a victory. But here we go, Medina up, just a bit of a wobbly start to this ride. We'll see how he can recover down the line here as he seeks out some big moves on this steeper inside runner. Now starting to really blow up. Couple of decent hits, a bit of foam on the face. Some tough sections to negotiate. An uncharacteristic turn there, but starting to click into form now. Grabbing that rail, just getting wound up. That thing was a little wobbly on the end section.
Let's take a look at Kelly's wave first here. As he tags that first section, little hung up. That'll affect his flow, but then get some rhythm here through this inside section. That trademark snap. You know, Kelly always tries to do a little different. If it's a rebound off the whitewash or a snap, or look at, he's just mixing it up. This inside snap here too, again, just laying into it. Raw, to get that arm placement. That's a trademark that he's had ever since he was 12 years old. And now Gabriel Medina, again, that stand-up, we didn't get to do it, but right there, a little stumble. So both surfers having a little bit of a hiccup on the outside. But this wave smooths out for Gabriel. And you see, usually he's just so smooth and looks so solid on that backhand bottom turn, but there, he's just a tiny bit wobbly. Of course, he had to motor through all of this whitewatery section. And then another little stumble. So these little stumbles will affect the score, although this is probably the highest quality wave we've seen.
So So scores starting to come through from that last exchange. Just over 12.5 minutes remaining as we see Slater up once again. Has really been flexing his repertoire here in 2017. Throwing a lot of different moves on these long stretched out walls. And this wave's no different. A lot of variety in this ride. The spice of life, Pete.
Ton of variety. And I believe he's consciously doing that.
Oh, no doubt. Well, he has that against Medina here. I mean, Medina's always got a lot of different weapons he can go to, but on the back end, probably a little more limited than the forehand.
You know, he can go up vertical, then do the big roundhouse cutback.
Let's see if Medina can get things right this time. That's a bigger start to a wave. Hasn't had that big major move on the outside just yet. So a quality score here is really just going to depend on what this wave does through the inside. So a lot of dead time here, but Medina just sticking with it. Confident things will pan out for him here. Solid connection with the lip there, but loses it on that third move. And really the section just wasn't that steep. Maybe could have flowed through that and waited for the wave to really stand up on the inside. He's going to get a little rebate here on the inside, Pete. Try and make his way down to the ski.
Very interesting when we'll watch the replay of Gabriel Medina. I kind of took note on something, but we got some live action first.
Look at this thing behind the rock. Kelly, he's too deep. It had that big backwash through it. So
again, very strong outside move. That patented backhand hook that he has, so powerful, so smooth, glides up the whitewater here. But look at his head. Watch what he's looking at. He's constantly scanning. He looks literally 180 degrees back and forth. He's scanning. And what he's looking for is that double up, that where is that low road going to be, so that he can position himself with the best opportunity as soon as he gets steep again to tag it. You know, and this one was tough. He had a bunch of ribs on the face. You know, we've got that kind of side chop coming. That east wind is kind of blowing a little bit of wind swell across, making it very difficult. It's not that clean, smooth face that we saw earlier this morning, but just a neat look at someone really scanning everything. As we see now, this variety that we carry from Kelly Slater. You know, that roundhouse cutback, then the layback where you keep that arm back. You know, a different angle of approach. The board changes angles, so you can kind of see that board straight up. You know, that vertical attack.
Here we go, Medina up now. And he is in second spot. Kelly utilises his priority here. Kelly, he had a 6.33 just moments ago, and he's now looking to get rid of a 4.83, a very strong opening move. And he just stands back and waits for the wave to reel off, but it's going to get away from him. 8.5 minutes to go.
But here he's got an opportunity.
And it is pretty clean out there at the moment. Just got to link these rides together. Medina's not going to find the open face. So just over 7.5 minutes to go. Pete, let me ask you something. Well, Slater has a look at this one. Medina ensures he doesn't get tangled up with Kelly when he's got this priority. Slater just two solid moves on the outside to kick things off. Tapping into vintage form. And he definitely has a renewed purpose after making the quarters here. And looking to shut Medina out. This wave, it's not going to do much down the line, though.
I like the two-turn combo on the outside, though. I think that was very strong. We haven't seen a lot of those two-turn combos on that outside section, so I believe that he may better that 4.83 and make it a little bit more difficult. But at 2 minutes, that's what he had to do. He makes them commit to the wave. And so Kelly, now committing to this wave, knew how important it was to try and better the 4.83. The kid's so smart. He wouldn't have been the greatest of all time by making poor decisions all the time. But I love how he stays with it. You know, this little cheeky 60, which really there wasn't anything else he could have done on that except for just a gliding floater, which really doesn't score well. But that gave a little something to think about. Again, more variety that he has.
This opportunity, he needs a 6.07, and it is a nice looking wall from the outset. And that is a big hit to get started. So this thing's standing up. He has had some falls early on in this heat. Let's see what he can do. Sprays Kelly in the face as he makes his way through to the inside. The wall stands up. And here we go. Let's see if he can find that rhythm that's seen him go into the excellent range throughout the contest. Kelly's up out the back. So this heat is going to go right down to the wire. Just 50 seconds remaining as Medina floats on the inside and climbs up on the roof one more time. Slater, he's letting go of huge turns out the back as well. So a great exchange to finish this heat off. This will be the end. Medina psyched, but then he turns around and sees Kelly. Uh-oh.
This is sick. Again, right to the end. I mean, Kelly, he had to have that wave behind it. I mean, what a finish.
A high five from the boys. Great rivals they have been in recent times.
And it's been unprecedented. I don't think we've ever seen it before, both on the Roxy and the men's side.
Well, that was a very solid first turn.
Absolutely. You'd think that this was a bit stronger as he sprays Kelly in the face. Oh, just see that little extra little toe press just to send that little low fizz across Kelly's face. But this section here was really important for Gabriel because he was able to get that nice steep backhand tack twice in a row. So he has the combos on the outside. He thinks at this point, I've got it, no problem. I mean, this is great stuff on the inside. I mean, like I said, you had to have Kelly be able to pick up this last wave or else he would be packing.
It felt good for Medina. He is amping. But just going off recent times, we just haven't seen Kelly get these kind of opportunities.
So true.
At the end of heats.
It's so true.
So let's see what he did.
I mean, you got to think about this too, that you know, the stars align, right? The Sagittarian and the Aquarius.
Don't give up. That's what they said.
Well, so are you starting to become a believer? I don't know. This was so cool to watch. I mean, both these surfers put their all into it, all the way to the last hooter, and so exciting. And now it's tough to call. Where is this going to finish? Who's going to win this heat? It's in the judges' hands.
It's that approach up into the lip versus that mix-up from Slater where he gets out on that open face and drops some big rail turns. Kept those rails clean throughout as Medina finished his wave on the inside.
So really you got to think about what's going to happen here is that Kelly has the backup score of a 6.33, the 5.17. So there's a point and some change difference. So really, Gabriel's wave has to be a point better than Kelly's.
Wow, that last turn of Kelly's just there was really solid.
So is there a point difference? I mean, do you see Gabriel being a point higher?
Okay, we're still waiting, you guys. We're still waiting for last of blue, Kelly Slater. And it goes to Gabriel Medina.